Welcome to this video. In this video, we'll see introduction to data structures. Let us go and understand what exactly the data structures is. Before going to data structure, first let us understand what is meant by data and information and data type, and then we'll go and understand the data structures. First of all, data is nothing but the raw facts that are available surrounding us are known as your data. Generally, we do have different types of data that is available. Data is something like raw facts that are available in our surroundings are known as your data. Like for example, there is a car, that is a raw fact. The car can be drove at the speed of like some kilometers per hour, that is a raw fact. There is a driver. Okay, all these are the different raw facts that are available. Okay, something happened at some particular place. Okay, that is a like some piece of data. Okay, there are this much of people assembled there. That is a data that is available. Okay, different things are there. Okay, means this data can be in the form of different things, like it may be in the form of figures, it may be in form of observations, it may be in the form of occurrences, some incidents that are happening, instructions that are given to you, like rules and regulations. All these are known as, and these are like a general, they are given like that. Okay, that is what known as a basic data then is. So then comes to what is information. Information is very much different from the data. So the processed form of data is known as your information. Like I said, that there is a driver, car, speed and all this. The driver is driving a car at the speed of this particular kilometers per hour. So this is a processed information. This incident happened at that particular place at that particular time. This is known as a processed data, right? That is known as a information. Meaningful format of an data is known as a information. Now I hope it is clear that what is data and what is information. Let's go to data type. So now here in this world we have so much of data. Like this is also having different types. Just like for example, if you take a example of ice cream, you have different flavors of ice creams, right? Strawberry, okay, mango flavor, like vanilla, all these are butterscotch, all these are the different flavors of your ice creams, right? Basic ice cream is same, but the flavor, the taste of these things is different. Similarly, when you have data is also of different particular formats. For example, there may be numbers, then that comes to one type of data. There may be string like alphabets, then it may be one type of data. For example, images, one type of data, audio, one type of data, video, one type of data. Okay, these are the different forms of data. This is what, to identify what form of data you have, we use data type. We describe it with the help of name data type. Now you understand what data type is, right? So data type is nothing but it specifies in what format the data is available, whether it is in numbers, whether it is in pictures, whether it is in audio format, whether it is in video format, or whether again if it is number, what type of number, integer number, real number, what type of number it is, right? So that is known as a data type. Let's go for data structure. So what is a data structure? A data structure describes the way of storing and organizing the data. So this is very important thing. Like see, for example, let us assume that you have a shelf in your home. Let us assume that there is a shelf in your home, and you also have some books with you. Like different books are there. Some of fiction books are there, and some of non-fiction books are there. Okay, some self-help books are there, and some books that are related to your curriculum, like computer science are there, some of related to mathematics are there, some of related to other books are available with you, right? So now how you can arrange all these books here? You have a way to organize them, right? The way you organize and store the data in these books in this bookshelf is known as data structure. Similarly, we take these books, we will convert it into data, and we will convert this bookshelf into a particular memory location of your computer memory. So now how you are going to organize this data in your bookshelf, that is your computer's memory, is known as your data structure. Okay, how you are going to store, whether you are going to store it in a linear way or in a non-linear way, homogeneous, non-homogeneous, how you are going to store. I want to store all my computer science related books in this shelf. I want to store all the fiction books here, I want to store all the non-fiction books here, I want to store all other books here. Similarly, I want to store all the integer data here, I want to store all the alphabetical data here, I want to store all my images here, I want to store all my videos here, right? So that is what a data structure is, right? So the way you organize the data in your computer memory is known as your data structures. Now let us go and see how many types of data structures are available, right? This is what we call it as a classification of your data structure. Generally, since we have data, the data is classified into two types, that is primitive data types and non-primitive data types. Okay, primitive means predefined, that is all already available. Okay, we are not going to do anything. So already compilers and your programming language, whatever you select, they will be specifying some data, right? So that data is going to be predefined, something like integer, floating point, character, and also pointers. All these are the different data types. Okay, now coming to non-primitive data types, that is user defined data types. So now we can also create our own data structures, also create our own data types can be created. Okay, for example, I want to collect all the numbers of student marks, I want to collect, then I can create an array. Similarly, I want to store all the store the data in the form of a list, I can create a linked list. I want to store the data in the form of a FIFO model, okay, LIFO model, lost in first out model, then I use a stack. I want to use it a FIFO model, then I will use a queue. I want to store the data in unorganized manner like trees, okay, graphs. There is no randomly I want to store the data, then that I can go for the trees and graphs. So right, so non-primitive data types of two types, that is linear. Linear means what? In linear fashion of the data is stored in one after another. Okay, they are stored in a linear way. Linear means straight like this. First element, second element, third element, and fourth element. So one after another is stored. For example, if there is a computer memory, you are organizing all the data. There is a relationship between these data items, first element, second element, you are going to store like this. Okay, so non-linear, what you are doing opposite to this one, you are not storing, you are storing it randomly, some data item here, some is here, some is here. Okay, again you are going to take another data somewhere else, opposite to just a linear. We'll see further how this will be there. Okay, next thing is, I hope you understood what is the classification of your data structure. Very simple, data structures are two types: primitive, that is predefined, and user defined. And in user defined, again we are having linear and non-linear. Okay, we do also have some homogeneous and non-homogeneous. Homogeneous means similar type of data items, non-homogeneous means there is no relationship. Like for example, in homogeneous we collect only integer elements like 1, 2, 3 will be collecting. For example, floating point will be collected in only one place. Alphabets will be collected in only one particular data structure, right? So we cannot collect one number and one alphabet. So for that we have to use the non-homogeneous data structures, right? So that is what about your classification of your data structure. Okay, next one is operations of your ADT. What is ADT? ADT is abstracted data type. It is a object whose behavior is defined by a set of values or set of operations. So which is having a set of values like to store and set of operations that to be performed. For what? It is just like a object or a class that is there. Okay, so for example, if you take like a stack is like a ADT. Okay, so on stack what we are having different types of operations on this ADT, that is common object, right? That is ADT. So traversing is nothing but, let us assume that I have an array. Okay, visiting the first element, second element, third element, fourth element, and like this. So for example, I have a element here, another element here, another element here, another element here, and another element here. Visiting to each and every element is known as traversing, right? Clear. So next one is searching. What do you mean by searching? Searching is nothing but, for example, I have a target, like for example I have a target with 10. Okay, I have to search this 10 is available in this particular array or not, right? In this array or not. So I will search for the first element. If it is matching, then the element is found. otherwise I will go to the next element, next element, next element, next element. If it is not available, I will not get it. If it is there, then I will get it at any particular place here. So this is what known as your searching an element in this array. Okay, then next comes to your inserting. Inserting, as you know that already an array is there, for example a data structure that is there, already you have some elements here, and now you want to add a new element to this, then that is what known as your inserting. Very simple. Okay, next one is deleting. Deleting, if you have already existing element, you don't want that element, you want to remove it from the data structure, then that is known as your delete operation. So sorting is nothing but either you want to ascending order or descending order, you want to sort the data. For example, the data is like a 5, 3 and 7. Okay, this is not any order, like I want to sort it into either 3, 5 and 7, or otherwise I want to sort it to 7, 5 or 3. Depending upon my requirement, I will be sorting the data in any of the order specified by my problem. Okay, so that is what known as my sorting. And then coming to the matching. Matching is nothing but if you have two data structures and you want to combine this. For example, one student marks are available, 30 students marks are available in this data structure, and 30 students marks are available in this data structure. Now you want to have it in a single array. So then what you will do, you will combine these two both structures and make a new array of where you are adding the data to two arrays to one particular array, right? So these are the different types of operations that to be performed here. Hope you understand what is like data structure and what are the different types of your data structures, and then what are the what is an abstract data type and what are the operations of a data structure. And further we will see further we will be covering what arrays are there and what are the different operations of an array, and let us see them. Okay, hope you like this session. If you